Today, our two countries face a multitude of more complex threats, emanating from multiple directions. As friends and as allies, we face them together. These challenges know no borders. No fortress can protect us against them this time. Instead, the answer lies in Princess of Wales.
Royal insiders are abuzz over a moment that left King Charles radiant with pride, and French President Emmanuel Macron noticeably impressed. During Macron's high-stakes state visit to the United Kingdom, in July 2025, Catherine, Princess of Wales, was entrusted with a role so profound, many are calling it a watershed moment for the modern monarchy. "She replaces me from now on," King Charles reportedly quipped half in jest, but with unmistakable pride gleaming in his eyes. So, what exactly was this role, and why did it send tremors through the corridors of Buckingham Palace? Stay with us until the end to uncover the full story, and be sure to share your thoughts in the comments for more exclusive royal insights. The state banquet held in honor of French President Emmanuel Macron was anything but ordinary. Set within the resplendent Buckingham Palace ballroom, it was a grand display of diplomacy, regal splendor, and centuries-old tradition. But beneath the polished surface, something quietly revolutionary unfolded. Catherine, seated to President Macron's immediate right, a placement steeped in protocol and significance, wasn't simply there to smile for the cameras. In a break from tradition, King Charles entrusted her with leading the evening's diplomatic toasts, a duty typically reserved for the sovereign or a senior royal of considerable experience. The gesture left even seasoned courtiers momentarily stunned. Posts on X, formerly Twitter, immediately lit up with speculation, with one user observing, "Catherine is on the other side of Charles, next to President Macron, the future queen." Why was this so momentous? Because the toast wasn't just ceremonial. It was an opportunity to shape the tone of UK-France relations especially delicate, given Macron's flair for sharp, calculated diplomacy. Catherine didn't merely meet the moment, she mastered it. Her remarks, described by guests as both eloquent and sincere, struck a diplomatic harmony, fortifying the Anglo-French alliance while embodying personal warmth. Macron, a man known for his expressive nature, leaned in frequently, nodding. "The Princess of Wales has a gift," he later confided to aides. "According to murmurs in diplomatic circles, she understands the gravity of her words and the power of her presence." To understand why King Charles made such a bold move, we need to rewind. The state visit unfolded against a backdrop of transformation. For the monarchy, a tightrope act between tradition and evolution. Now in his third year as monarch, Charles has shown a clear desire to empower the next generation. But handing Catherine such a prominent diplomatic role at a globally watched event, that surprised even those within his inner circle. Insiders revealed that this was a carefully calculated test, a trial of Catherine's diplomatic act. She passed with distinction. "He's been watching her closely," one palace source said. "Her ability to connect with world leaders and ordinary citizens alike is unmatched." The decision wasn't made on a whim. Posts across X suggest Catherine's elevated role was a strategic move to salvage a visit that many were calling a diplomatic misfire. Logistical snags and fraught trade discussions had cast a shadow over Macron's arrival, but Catherine's poise helped reset the tone. Her presence brought ease to a tense atmosphere. One standout moment came when Macron faltered in response to a thorny question about post-Brexit relations. With grace, Catherine shifted the focus to shared cultural achievements, highlighting a recent Anglo-French art exhibition. The mood lightened, and Charles exchanged a telling glance with his daughter-in-law, silent confirmation that she was rising to the occasion. So what makes Catherine such a natural in these diplomatic settings? It's not just her elegance or the years of royal preparation. It's her instinctive ability to make people feel acknowledged. During the banquet, she engaged Macron in a personal conversation about youth education, an issue close to her heart. Observers noticed how Macron, usually characterized as intense and cerebral, visibly relaxed in her company, even chuckling at a lighthearted remark about British and French school rivalries. "She has a way of disarming people," shared one royal aide. "It's not staged, it's just who she is." This wasn't the first time Catherine's composure has captivated a room. At previous state events, she's earned praise for her deft handling of complex social dynamics, but this evening was different. It wasn't about assisting, it was about leading. Her toast centered on a shared future, grounded in mutual trust, and friendship resonated beyond the banquet hall. French media quoted it prominently the next morning. Macron himself, impressed and moved, reportedly told King Charles, "Your daughter-in-law is a bridge between our nations." Those words, as shared by a diplomatic insider, hinted at something deeper. Catherine's influence may soon stretch far beyond the ceremonial. This banquet wasn't just a one-night success. It may have, but for many within palace walls, that glittering banquet may have marked the beginning of something far greater. Whispers from royal corridors suggest King Charles is quietly drafting a formal royal document, one designed to solidify Catherine's evolving role as a central diplomatic figure within the monarchy. While the exact details remain closely guarded, palace insiders speculate it could bestow expanded responsibilities upon the Princess of Wales. From leading international state engagements to championing large-scale cultural diplomacy initiatives. This isn't about replacing anyone, one insider clarified. It's about acknowledging Catherine's unique power to carry the monarchy forward into a new era. The idea of such a document isn't for King Charles has long expressed his vision for a streamlined, modernized royal family, one centered around a tight-knit core of working royals. And at the heart of that vision stands Catherine, whose global appeal, emotional intelligence, and steady public service record have positioned her as a pillar of the monarchy's future. Some close to the throne suggest the Macron banquet was, in fact, a deliberate test and opportunity to assess both public reaction and diplomatic outcomes. If posts across X are any indication, the result was resoundingly positive. Catherine receives rare new title from King Charles at French state banquet. One user excitedly claimed, linking to a viral YouTube clip, the title itself may have been speculative, but the sentiment was unmistakable. The public sees Catherine's rise and welcomes it. For Catherine, that evening was more than a public success. It was a deeply personal moment. Those close to her say she felt the magnitude of King Charles's trust. She understood the message being sent not just to the world, but to her. To be given that platform, in front of Macron, and on the global stage, was his way of saying, "I believe in you," a close friend revealed. During the toast, cameras captured a subtle, fleeting moment, Catherine glancing toward Charles, who responded with a slight nod. It was a quiet exchange between a father-in-law and daughter-in-law to royals. Bound by duty and mutual respect, William too was visibly moved. Seated just a few feet away, he watched as his wife captivated the room, pride softening his gaze. "He's always known she's extraordinary," said a source close to the couple, but witnessing her lead like that hit him in a new way. When applause followed Catherine's toast, their eyes met. It was more than admiration. It was a look of shared purpose, of unity, a look that said, "We're in this together." And it's these quiet, human moments that make Catherine's ascent so profoundly compelling. She's not just a royal figure, she's a partner, a mother, and now, unmistakably, a diplomatic force. French President Emmanuel Macron's reaction said everything. Known for his discerning nature and often measured praise, Macron didn't hold back. During the post-banquet reception, he spoke with warmth and conviction about the strength of the UK-France alliance and singled out Catherine's role in fortifying it. "Her vision for our shared future is inspiring," he reportedly told one French diplomat. "She brings stability and hope." These words, echoed across diplomatic channels, point to something more than admiration. They reveal Macron sees Catherine as a serious player in the years of negotiation and statecraft to come, and that confidence isn't just emotionally, it's strategic. The United Kingdom and France continue to face hurdles from trade tensions and migration issues to shared climate responsibilities. In this landscape, Catherine's ability to foster goodwill, cut through formality, and build personal connections is invaluable. Her work in early childhood development, a cause deeply important to both countries, became a touchpoint during the visit. Macron, whose wife Brigitte shares Catherine's passion for education, found in her a kindred spirit, sparking conversations about future joint initiatives. "It's not just about what happened tonight," an observer noted. "It's about the diplomatic doors she's opening for the years ahead." So how did Catherine reach this point? The journey has been one of quiet strength and relentless dedication. From her early days in the royal spotlight, often under scrutiny for her commoner background, she has steadily carved out a space that's at once modern and timeless. Her public work spans mental health, early years education, and addiction recovery, and she's earned both global respect and grassroots affection. But it's her innate ability to connect with others, whether comforting a child at a shelter or making a world leader laugh, that sets her apart. Catherine brings sincerity to every setting, and that sincerity is her superpower. The Macron visit felt like the culmination of a long, deliberate ascent. According to royal insiders, Catherine has been deeply immersed in studying diplomacy. From etiquette to geopolitics under King Charles's guidance, she's a fast learner, one age shared. She listens, observes, and asks all the right questions. Her performance at the state banquet wasn't lucky or improvised. It was the result of years of careful preparation, wrapped in natural ease. And yet, somehow, she made it look effortless, a mark of true mastery. The public, ever watchful, responded in kind. X was flooded with admiration for Catherine's presence that evening, with users calling her the future queen and a rising diplomatic star. Clips of her speech swept across the internet, collecting thousands of likes and comments. "She's just so authentic," one viewer wrote. You could see how impressed Macron was. Another user noted her symbolic seating arrangement beside the French president. That placement says it all. Charles is clearly passing the torch. Royal watchers quickly took note of the subtle yet powerful ways Catherine commanded the evening. Her sapphire blue gown, a symbolic nod to Anglo-French unity, earned widespread praise. But it wasn't just the fashion, it was her posture. The warmth of her smile, the composure in her speech, every detail was studied, celebrated, and shared across social platforms. She's not just playing a part, one analyst remarked. She's redefining what it means to be royal in the 21st century. The enthusiasm from the public underscores a deeper truth. Catherine represents a seamless blend of tradition and modernity, making her the ideal choice for King Charles's bold new vision. Amid the grandeur of Buckingham Palace, Catherine remained deeply anchored in her most personal role, that of a mother. Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis weren't at the event, but they were, as always, on her mind. Everything she does is for them. A close friend shared, she's trying to shape a world where they can thrive not just as royals, but as grounded, compassionate individuals. Her early childhood initiative, which she briefly discussed with President Macron during the visit, is an extension of that mission. It's a reminder that Catherine's real strength lies in how effortlessly she balances the demands of duty with the devotion of motherhood. That balance became even more evident in a quiet moment after the banquet. As dignitaries mingled and staff coordinated the final details of the night, Catherine quietly stepped away to make a call home, checking in on her children. That's typical Kate, an aide smiled. One minute she's representing the crown on a world stage, the next she's just a mom making sure everything's okay back home. It's that kind of relatability that endears her so deeply to the public. She's not just a princess in gowns and tiaras. She's a modern woman navigating work, family, and responsibility, just like millions of others, only under the world's brightest spotlight. So what does Catherine's breakthrough at the Macron state banquet mean for the future of the monarchy? It's a question igniting headlines and fueling speculation inside the palace. If the rumors about a formal new royal document are true, Catherine could soon assume a role unlike any seen in recent royal history. This wouldn't merely be about ceremonial appearances, it would mean actively leading the monarchy into a new phase of global relevance. At 76, King Charles is keenly aware of the need to safeguard the crown's future. And in Catherine, he sees not just a dependable royal but the very person who can turn vision into legacy. She's the bridge to the future, a senior aide confided. Charles sees her as the one capable of carrying the institution forward with grace and strength. The implications are profound. With her poised and purposeful performance during the French state visit, Catherine has proven she can navigate the nuanced world of international diplomacy. Her rare combination of political insight and emotional intelligence allows her to connect with world leaders like Macron while maintaining the deep admiration of the public, a duality few can master. Some royal insiders now speculate that Charles is preparing her for a formal diplomatic role that could include chairing high-stakes summits, leading cultural exchanges, or even mediating in sensitive trade negotiations. She's not just a figurehead, one source insisted. She's a strategist, and Charles knows it. The renewed strength of the UK-France alliance, now subtly shaped by Catherine's warmth and influence, is just the first chapter. Hope for a more stable and dynamic partnership, shared by several diplomatic sources, underscores Catherine's growing geopolitical impact. Imagine Catherine championing new bilateral initiatives at UK-France, early education exchange inspired by her early years' work, or a climate change collaboration that reflects Charles's environmental passions. These aren't far-fetched dreams. These are real possibilities, already being whispered in diplomatic circles. She's planting seeds, one observer said, and the harvest could be a new era of international cooperation. Yet, beyond policy and prestige, Catherine's most powerful impact may lie in how she connects with people. Her authenticity, genuine and graceful, resonates from palatial ballrooms to the most modest village halls. Posts on X from the banquet night were filled with admiration. Catherine's toast wasn't just a speech, one user wrote. It was heartfelt. It was real. She's our queen in waiting. That kind of public devotion is no small thing. At a time when the monarchy faces ongoing scrutiny over its cost and cultural relevance, Catherine's rare ability to inspire emotional loyalty might be its greatest source of resilience. She's rewriting the royal playbook, one commentator declared, and the world is watching. Her influence isn't confined to today, it's also shaping tomorrow. By raising Prince George, Charlotte, and Louis in an environment that values service over privilege, Catherine is ensuring the monarchy evolves with its times. Insiders say she's already teaching them that titles alone don't define worth, purpose and integrity do. She wants them to understand the world, not just wear the crown, a friend revealed. It's a philosophy that aligns seamlessly with Charles's goal for a streamlined monarchy where every royal earns their place and contributes meaningfully to society. And this deeply personal moment, this triumph at the heart of British diplomacy, isn't lost on the people who know her best. William, watching from nearby, understood exactly what this meant. He saw not just the Princess of Wales commanding a room, but his partner rising into her destiny. William doesn't just see Catherine as a partner, he sees her as a trailblazer. He's in awe of her, one source revealed. She's not just carrying the monarchy, she's redefining it. Their shared devotion to causes like mental health and environmental sustainability is laying the foundation for a reign built on purpose, not just tradition. Together, They're not merely performing royal duties, they're shaping a legacy that could one day eclipse even the most iconic reigns of British history. And what comes next? Inside the palace, speculation is swirling like never before. Some insiders suggest Catherine may represent the United Kingdom at the next G7 summit, a move that would officially place her on the world stage as a formidable diplomatic force. Others believe she's preparing to launch a new royal foundation that will weave together her lifelong passions, early childhood, development, and international cooperation into a global mission. One thing is beyond debate. Catherine's star isn't just rising, it's blazing, and with her ascent, the monarchy finds itself stronger, steadier, and more future-ready than ever. As one ex-user wrote, she's not just the future queen, she's the future, full stop. As the glittering state banquet for French President Emmanuel Macron drew to its close, a singular moment crystallized, a moment that royal historians will revisit for years to come. King Charles, glowing with unmistakable pride, lifted his glass toward his daughter-in-law, to the Princess of Wales, he declared, his voice filled with warmth, reverberating across the ornate walls of Buckingham Palace. The room erupted in thunderous applause. But for Catherine, the triumph wasn't loud or external, it was intimate, profound, and deeply personal. She replaces me from now on. Whether spoken in jest or earnest, those 5 words from Charles echoed through palace corridors like a prophecy. They captured a truth too significant to ignore. Even veteran courtiers, seasoned in royal theatrics, were stunned. Catherine, they realized, was no longer just fulfilling a role. She was stepping into power. This wasn't just a toast, it was the symbolic passing of the torch. Insiders now whisper that Charles sees in Catherine a rare golden triad: poise, intellect, and emotional resonance. Qualities not just necessary for surviving royal life, but for redefining it. Her performance that evening, from the warmth of her toasts to the natural rapport she built with Macron, confirmed she's ready for something far bigger. And yet, what makes Catherine's rise so compelling isn't just her capability, it's her authenticity. The grace with which she balances duty and humanity is what sets her apart on the world stage. Social media lit up as the moment unfolded. One viral post read, "Catherine's not just the future queen, she's the heart of the monarchy." It was a sentiment echoed across timelines, broadcasts, and international headlines. But behind those glowing tributes lies a far deeper shift. The rumored royal document, said to define Catherine's expanded diplomatic responsibilities, suggests a seismic change is underway. A future where the Princess of Wales isn't just opening galleries or shaking hands, but driving negotiations, fostering global cooperation, and leading where once only monarchs tread. She's a natural diplomat, said one senior aide. She can speak to presidents without losing the common touch. That's almost unheard of. The vision Charles is building, Elena, more effective monarchy, is one that needs figures like Catherine to succeed. Not just polished, but purposeful. Not just admired, but trusted. For Catherine, the moment wasn't about accolades or titles. It was about responsibility. Standing beneath the chandeliers of Buckingham Palace, her sapphire gown shimmering under candlelight, she bore not just the gaze of foreign dignitaries, but the hopes of a nation and the faith of a king. Still, she stayed grounded. A quiet glance across the room to William, who returned her smile, said more than any speech. Their bond, tested by time and scrutiny, was her anchor, her strength. Watching her command the evening with effortless elegance, William turned to an aide and, almost under his breath, said, "She's unstoppable." That fleeting remark, captured by a nearby guest, reflected the private awe of a man watching his wife ascend to history. It also marked a turning point in the monarchy's story, a new chapter written not in decree, but in presence, grace, and quiet power. The world is beginning to recognize what Charles has long believed. Catherine's legacy is already unfolding. Her dedication to early childhood education, her advocacy for mental health, and now, her diplomatic gravitas, they are all pieces of a much larger tapestry. One she is weaving thread by thread, moment by moment. Macron's praise, describing her as a bridge between nations, wasn't diplomatic flattery. It was strategic truth. And so, what comes next? If the Macron banquet was a glimpse of what's possible, then Catherine's influence will only grow. Whether standing in palace, ballrooms, or representing Britain on the international stage, she has shown she can carry the weight of monarchy without losing its humanity. Prince George, Charlotte, and Louis will one day inherit not just titles, but a blueprint for modern leadership crafted by a mother who never wavered in her principles. As King Charles continues to shape his reign, it's clear he sees in Catherine not just a royal figure, but a transformative one. Whether she steps into the role of ambassador, negotiator, or something entirely new, this is no ordinary princess. This is a woman writing her own royal chapter. And make no mistake, this is only the beginning.